But CM Punk versus our guy John Silver, Johnny
Yeah.
Hungy, always fun to watch on TV. The guy is just so full of personality and so fun. Anytime he gets a chance to shine, he blinds the world. I say that often because Silver is a lot of fun, and he can back it up in the ring with his comedy level and his in-ring set. It's so cool that he's got to go in the ring with the best in the world, CM Punk, in his hometown. AEW doing those feel-good moments, which is really great, man. So Silver's strength, charisma, his striking is a lot of fun to watch. And so that's, one of those standout moments and standout members of the Dark Order that I love to see. But on the flip side of this, you're seeing, last week and the week before, CM Punk kind of lean into speaking of breadcrumbs, breadcrumbing the heel movement there, and coming out with the Islanders jersey, the Tavares, since he left the Islanders and went to Toronto, leaning into that a little bit. He leaned into that with that promo, and then he used the Buckshot Lariat to finish off Silver. And then after the match, man, we got heated Hangman. So we know what CM Punk can do as this baby face. We've, that homecoming every time coming out, starting the show and just, giving high fives and hugs and jumping in the crowd. But are we going to see a change in momentum now that Danielson is kind of going back to babyface after his amazing quick heel turn? It's needed. I feel like it is needed in that, and to get a powerful heel CM Punk. Are we going to see it? Do you think it's going to happen?
I'm beaming. I'm beaming ear to ear right now.
Heel.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Like, I have kind of, during my time off with DD, I've taken a hiatus, and I have listened to the other side. I've listened to Cornette talk a little bit about some stuff.
Wow.
And he brings up a point of, like, there's a difference between, like, getting a reaction and selling tickets. And like, I might see something and be like, oh, that's cool, but am I willing to pay to go see it?
Right.
And I think, CM Punk as a face, it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of fun.
Feel good moment.
The nostalgia of seeing CM Punk is great.
Sure.
But if you want to get me hooked into what CM Punk's doing, if you want to get me, again, once the nostalgia wears off, if you want me to get invested in CM Punk, it's when he's got the ability to just speak his mind. He's not kissing ass. He's not worried about being a good guy. He's authentic. And the authentic Phil Brooks, the authentic CM Punk, is a guy who doesn't mind hurting people's feelings. He's very comfortable in throwing punches at people verbally, and you don't call yourself the best in the world if you don't have some cockiness to you, right? So I love this side. I love this side of Punk, dude. I love this side of Punk who kind of walks that line of being a heel. Again, he doesn't need to be a guy who's doing low blows. He doesn't need to be like an MJF. He's not going to be that version of a heel, but allow him. His low blow was
using the other finisher.
Exactly. Allow him to troll the fans a little bit. Allow him to kind of buy into his own hype a little bit. Allow him to cut down the champion a little bit. Maybe you see a little bit of the straight edge superstar come back out. Cowboy Hangman Adam Page wasted how much of his prime being a depressed alcoholic.
Right.
CM Punk would be the straight edge that he is, would be more than okay making those kind of shots at it. And now, is that necessary? I don't know. But I love the fact that he's starting to gain that freedom as a character to breathe, where he could say something like that, where you don't know what to expect from CM Punk, because for a long time now, since his return, we've kind of, other than that Eddie Kingston feud, which also pulled back some of the goody two-shoes CM Punk and allowed him to call out a fan favorite like Eddie Kingston and call him basically a lazy, fat slob who wasted his
sweat
career.
Hog.
He called him a Motor City sweat hog, basically. That allowed Punk to dabble in a little heel work. And dude, that's the best version of Punk, man. When he's bringing when he brings lines and he delivers them in a way that very few can.
Right.
That's the CM Punk that I'm giving my money to go see, bro. That's the
You're
CM
right.
Punk that I want to see feud with Hangman. And quite honestly, that's the CM Punk who could beat Hangman, because the goody two-shoes Punk is not going to beat Hangman right now. Hangman has had an epic run as champ. But if
Every
Punk
defense has
taps
been
in,
top notch.
I mean, this is an example of double or nothing, dude. Hangman, if he wins, immediately you're like, dude, this guy's championship reign is like
One of the
ridiculous,
best.
right? It's like, this is ridiculous. He's
Right.
like, the notches in his belt are gods in pro wrestling. Like this puts him on
You're
another
not wrong.
level. But if
As
Punk
they
wins,
should.
it I think allows AEW to strike. They need to maybe, and again, let's be real here.
Yeah.
That 1 million viewer mark is a big deal.
You're right.
They very rarely they feel like they keep hitting that, like, and it's like they're tapping on it. Just tap it in. Just
One of my
tap
favorite
it
movies.
in. They need to just tap a little bit of heel CM Punk in the forefront of their show. Allow that to be the CM Punk who delivers weekly pipe bombs that hurts some people's feelings. You know, don't let him just be the guy who comes out there and is happy to be here. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Isn't it great to sing my song? No, let him come out with some punches and some real, like, one-liners. Let him be creative and go after the AEW roster.
So real quick before we talk about the number one heel in the business, our number one fan, MJF.
Yeah.
Real quick, I know I want this to be a spoiler to our bingo cards for Double or Nothing. Who do you have winning, CM Punk or Hangman at this stage 2 weeks out? Who would you pick?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't see them taking the belt off Hangman anytime soon. I don't see it.
I agree with you, and I support that. I think the next heel champ has to be someone of the caliber as MJF, which CM Punk is on that level. I mean, right there. But to have MJF be a champ, like,
I agree.